Hello everyone, my name is Cole Fish, and I am here to present to you about how I incorporated natural movement into my personal blue zone. As you can see, this presentation will record my project on how the blue zones and natural movement can positively impact your health and well-being. Next, I would like to introduce the concept of blue zones. These are the areas around the world where people live longer, healthier lives. Some of the most impactful factors that contribute to the health and well-being of these communities is their practice of natural movement, plant-based diets, strong social connections, and a sense of purpose. I chose to focus on natural movement because I believe it is important to understand the impact of moving naturally and how it fits into the bigger picture of healthy living. Furthermore, understanding the factors that contribute to the longevity of the people in blue zones can help us identify areas in our lives that need improvement. Next, I would like to delve deeper into natural movement. Natural movement is one of the most impactful practices used in the blue zones that sets them apart. This practice emphasizes natural and practical movements, for example, walking, biking, and gardening. I believe it is crucial to understand what natural movement entails and the activities that one can engage in to incorporate it into their daily routine. Additionally, I would like to highlight one of the main advantages of natural movement. It is a sustainable and easy to integrate approach to physical activity. Moving on, I'd like to explore some of the benefits of organic movement. According to our book on the blue zones, natural movement can improve cardiovascular health, muscle strength, and mental well-being. Additionally, it can significantly reduce the chance people have for diseases like obesity, diabetes, and heart problems. Furthermore, if done right, organic movement can be an enjoyable form of movement that fits into any lifestyle and encourages seizing opportunities. I think this emphasizes the importance of organic movement and its impact on our health and well-being. Moreover, it showcases the versatility of natural movement, making it accessible to people with different lifestyles and physical abilities. Continuing on, I would like to establish the goals I set for this project. My first motivation was that I wanted to get a better understanding of the blue zones and the principles that can be put into action. Secondly, I want to incorporate natural movement into my life, and I would like to see positive changes in my health and well-being. According to the blue zones, healthy lifestyles can prevent disease, improve mental health, and enhance well-being. Therefore, this project will focus on natural movement in a sustainable and enjoyable way to stay active. Next, I want to establish how I plan to use this principle throughout my project. Firstly, I incorporated natural movement into my life by examining how we move throughout the day and identifying opportunities to include enjoyable and healthy movement. By taking time out of my day to evaluate our daily routines, we can identify areas where we incorporate more physical activity. This can be as simple as replacing boring tasks with an alternative method, for example, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or biking to the grocery store instead of driving. These small changes can have a big impact on our overall well-being and make it easier to incorporate more natural movement into our daily lives. Moving on, I developed a system that included various forms of natural movement, such as walking, biking, swimming, kayaking, yard work, and even rollerblading. By incorporating a variety of different activities into my routine, I was able to keep things interesting and engaging for myself. It's also worth noting that I recorded 3 qualities each day from my perspective, including my motivation, which measures exactly how much drive I had to move naturally, effectiveness, which is used to express how I personally felt each day moving naturally, and finally my enjoyment, which was how happy I felt throughout the day. All of these variables were ranked on a scale of 1 to 10. This data allowed me to track my progress and to adjust my approach as needed to ensure that I was making the most of my efforts. Next, I would like to move on to the actual results that I got from my project. This is using the data system I established last slide. This is how I measured my success each day during the project. While I started off motivated, I found it difficult to maintain that level of effectiveness in the initial days of the project. However, by the beginning of the following week, I was able to become more effective, and ultimately, I was able to finish my project strong. This demonstrates that while there may be some obstacles along the way, it is important to stay committed to the goal and to continue pushing forward. Next, I would like to provide some context on some of the actual forms of natural movement that I used. I ended up participating in a wide range of activities, from going to the park with my little sister to playing sports with some of my friends. Furthermore, I went kayaking down the Salt River, although I wouldn't recommend that yet since it's really cold. Also, I did things like swimming, running, and even rollerblading, but the one I found myself doing the most consistently was dog walking. While there were certainly tons of highs and lows along the way, I think I ended up doing a fairly wide selection of activities, and for the most part, they were all enjoyable. By incorporating different types of movement into my routine, I was able to keep things fresh and exciting. It's also worth noting that each of these activities were able to fit into my routine fairly organically, which made them more enjoyable and helped me to stay motivated over the long term instead of in short bursts. Over the course of this project, I learned a lot of different lessons. As you can see, one of the lessons I learned during the project was the importance of motivation in achieving success. On this graph, I was able to see the relationship that motivation had on how effective I felt I was. And for the most part, I think that both values stayed fairly close to each other. While I encountered some challenges with my motivation and scheduling during the project, I realized that it was not essential to force exercise, but instead it was better to make it fit organically into my routine. This was a valuable lesson as it helped me to understand that in order to sustain physical activity, it is crucial to have the right mindset and a clear understanding of how it fits into my lifestyle. Additionally, I was essentially testing out a new lifestyle during this project, and I think that it provided some insight into how different people can live their lives. As we move on, I'd like to establish the insights I gained using the correlation between my happiness and my success. While the relationship was mostly proportional, it was not as strong as the one I mentioned between motivation and effectiveness. This is probably because happiness is a far more volatile and subjective metric than just motivation. It was interesting to observe that on average, the more successful I felt, the greater I rated my enjoyment of the day. This insight helped me to understand the importance of setting achievable goals and experiencing the joy that comes with accomplishing them. It has also made me realize that tracking progress and celebrating small wins can be an excellent way to keep motivation levels high. Next, I'd like to share the strategies I employed to incorporate more activity into my daily routine. One of the things I did was to replace some of my wasted time with more active pursuits. So this includes taking the longer way, which might seem like wasting time, but it was really a little that goes a long way. For instance, I walked instead of driving for short distances, and I looked for more active alternatives to do with my friends and families, such as playing push-up Uno, which I invented. However, I also faced some struggles along the way, such as losing motivation and getting tired of walks when it got hotter. Overcoming these obstacles required me to adopt a proactive approach and make necessary adjustments to my routines. Moving on, I'd like to share how I encouraged natural movement during the project. I discovered the importance of focusing on the natural part of natural movement, and I avoided forcing myself to do exercise when I didn't enjoy it. Instead, I attempted to find enjoyable sources of activity, and I established a routine that had room for movement. Changing my mindset was also essential, and I included daily traditions that I keep with myself and my family, like an evening walk or a stroll to the park. By keeping my routine fresh from day to day and focusing on having fun, I was able to stay motivated and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Overall, this project taught me a lot more than I expected, and I found plenty of ways to have fun during an otherwise dull day. Next, I would like to establish what I learned overall from this project. First and foremost, I learned that incorporating natural movement into my daily routine has made me feel better and more healthy throughout the day. By staying active, I found that my energy levels increased, and I felt more motivated to take on tasks. Secondly, I discovered that small changes and choices made the greatest impact on my project. Instead of overhauling my entire routine, I focused on making small, sustainable changes that I could stick with long term. Third, even small things can impact your overall health. By taking small steps every day, I noticed a significant improvement in my physical and mental well-being. Next, the sustainable fun activities brought the best results. Instead of forcing myself to do exercises that I disliked, I found activities that I enjoyed, which kept me coming back for more. Finally, I learned from my struggles that incorporating realistic expectations into my day brought the best results. By setting achievable goals and not pushing myself too hard, I was able to stay motivated and to see the results that I desired. Overall, this project has taught me that by making small sustainable changes, I can significantly improve my overall health and well-being. Next, I would like to move on to the final slide of my project on incorporating natural movement into my daily life. Over the past few weeks, I've explored the benefits of natural movement and how it can improve both my physical health and my overall well-being. I'm thrilled to say that this project has been transformative for me, and I hope that hearing about it has been for you as well. I would like to highlight the key takeaways from this project, such as the significant improvements in my health that I've seen in just a short span of time by incorporating natural movement into my daily routine. This demonstrates that even small changes in our lifestyle can have a significant impact on our physical health. Moreover, I have learned that working around our busy schedules still leaves ample room for healthy activity, and that incorporating natural movement into our routines help us to be more active without disrupting our schedules. In conclusion, this project has taught me the importance of natural movement and has empowered me to make positive changes in my lifestyle for greater health and happiness. While I may not seize every single chance to exercise, I've become more open to it, and I will strive to incorporate more natural movement into my daily life. This project has been a great learning experience, and although I might not have been perfect, I still believe that it taught me a lot about myself and exercise. I hope you've all gained valuable insights into the importance of natural movement and how it can improve your overall health and well-being. In closing, I would like to thank all of you for your attention and input throughout the project, and I hope that we all took a lesson about how incorporating natural movement into our daily lives can improve our health and our happiness. Thank you for watching.